Okay, well, open last Friday at the Sydney Opera House Drama Theatre was The Beast by Eddie Perfect. And in the studio, we have two of the cast with us to have a chat about the production, Heidi Arena and Toby Truslove. Thanks for coming in.
Well, hi.
Hello.
We didn't bring the cow today.
Oh, no. We wanted a reenactment.
I'm so sorry. We're not allowed to bring him.
Did
Her out
Animals
of the-
Australia have some sort of say in this? Or
No,
The animals weren't hurt. The actors were, but not the animals.
Yeah.
Yes, because we should say there is in the beast. The beast in question is. I mean, I don't know how much you want to say about the reveal of the show, as I think they might call it. But
I don't know. We're
there is
allowed
a
to say
slasher.
No,
there is a
don't say
slasher
reveal.
bloody element.
Oh, there's a lot of blood.
In the show.
I guess we're
isn't
allowed
there?
to.
I don't think we're allowed to say.
It's
No.
a,
How
well, let's
much?
let's
No.
say it's a
There
dinner
is-
party and there is
An incident.
head
There's
to
an
toe.
incident. There's
What's
a-
it called? Tail, nose to tail.
Nose to tail
Eating.
eating,
Eating.
dining experience, and there is a. The premise is.
So what happens when
The premise is
nose to
basically
tail?
the premise is sort of three middle class families do a sort of having done a tree change,
Tree change.
Yes.
Yes.
and then decide they get very organic and very they're massive.
The massive.
assholes.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yes.
They moved to country. Great. And then they decide to do a sort of degustation. Be very organic,
yes.
kill a an organic kind of calf, and then do a nose to tail eating, and
Yeah.
then
They all
And
cook
things turn.
Yeah, things
take a
turn.
turn, and things
Take a
turn,
turn.
things turn.
And all the couples, like you are one of the couples. You're
Yes.
kind of like new to the area compared to some of them. That
Yeah, we should
So,
never
well,
be
no,
there in the first
is that-
place.
No,
But all of the couples are kind of have these secrets.
Yes.
it's
There's
about,
many secrets.
There's so many.
actually.
The show's kind of about the sort of the thin veneer of respectability that
Yes.
covers middle class kind of values,
Yeah.
I guess, and
Yeah,
they're
the
sort of trying to keep up
facade
appearances.
Yeah.
And then at the heart of it, there's these terrible. In Eddie's case, he's got really dreadful secrets that these people are all hiding from each other. That all start to fall apart after.
And you can see the cracks from the beginning.
Yes.
It's all veneer for a long, long time until they start seeping through.
Yes, because there is
No,
this
no.
other story at the bit that at the nose and tail, of,
So to speak.
of
Very
play.
good.
You see,
Perfect.
you see what I did
Oh,
there?
did he do
Wow.
that on
See what
purpose?
See what I
Oh,
did?
okay.
It just came off the top of
Eddie's
my
going to
head.
snap you
Yeah.
up.
I'm glad we got that on camera.
Yes.
We
got the back of your head.
It was so brilliant, I
good.
forgot what I was saying. No, there's this other narrative. I don't know how much you want to reveal about that either. But there's this other story,
We
which
can
is
set the
the
scene, I
backstory of the three guys.
The three
in the story.
The three guys are all involved in a shipwreck.
Yeah.
At the start.
Excuse me, a boat wreck.
A boat wreck. It's
Yeah.
not a
Boat
ship. It's a boat.
What's the difference?
well,
anyway.
well,
It's not
on
a
the
big
track.
ship.
It's not
It's
as
just
big as he thinks.
Yeah, isn't it? Honey, it's huge. It's a huge, massive boat.
Well, when you're in the water, it doesn't
Now that
really
we're in
matter how big the boat
character.
was. You're still in the water, really. Yeah.
It's perspective. It's all perspective. Yeah, so they're involved in a boat wreck.
A boat wreck.
And some terrible things again go down, which you don't find out about. But this is part of the secrets that all of
Yes.
these people are hiding. And
Yeah.
in this case, they've got a very terrible secret that they're hiding.
And that sort of shapes the power relationships of the three characters. And your character is kind of a bit... Well, there's really one character who's a bit more of an arsehole than everyone else. And your character's one of their characters a bit bullied by him, isn't he?
Yes, he's sort of there's sort of there's the kind of the alpha
Yes.
character. Then there's the then there's the
He's the-
subs and the doms, I
Yeah.
guess, and that's sort of then there's my character is a sort of he's henpecked by his darling wife and his.
It's so funny. I was saying to Eddie, it's like a Shakespearean comedy in that people cheer for the goodies and they boo the baddies. Like you have that vocal reaction because he's got to hate the alpha female and male because they're just so revolting. And you sort of when there's satisfying moments where you come up or something,
Yeah.
it's like, yay, get rid of her, lock her in the
Yeah.
cupboard.
Well,
there's
Well,
also
stand on
this-
his
yeah.
head.
Victory.
I actually felt when I was there on opening night, and there was something almost in the performance too that was a little bit panto, like in the way.
Oh, yeah.
Was that something that was brought up in the direction?
They're kind of over the top.
Oh, very much. Look,
like
that we
facade.
let that trying to find any sort of semblance of grounding it in because there's
Reality
such these big moments happen. I think the decision was made by Simon
early
And all
on.
those early.
And to be different from, I think, from the Melbourne production that was more playing for real
Okay.
than playing for laughs. I know that was sort of,
Right.
Yeah, they
Did you see it in the original version?
Yeah,
You
yeah, I saw the
did?
original.
Oh.
Yeah,
which is a bit weird because
with Eddie actually. I
because
think
you
Now
know,
to play.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you just have to make a different a decision. But they did a much more grounded thing where we sort of went, well, look, we're not going to do that. So it does. So the audience is very into it,
You're
screaming,
laughing,
cheering,
and then you discussed it.
discussing,
Yes.
and everyone.
Right.
It's not a staid theatre audience. We've found like people are really laughing and really cheering. It's a very kind of behind you theatre.
Sydney is a shallower city, so I think it's important also. Got to remember, people in Melbourne are more intelligent, and people here are just simpler.
And they also
I think
have
it's
cheaper
important to do
tickets, I
that.
notice.
Cheaper tickets in Sydney, do they?
In Melbourne. It's
Oh,
cheaper
in
in
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
No, well, that's the revival.
Everything's cheaper in Melbourne after
Everything's cheaper.
2 weeks up
There's
here.
not enough money. Everything's expensive here.
They do a lot to make up
You
for the
get paid
weather.
more money.
You know, they do all
than
these
we
things
do.
to make up for the weather.
Yeah.
But
So there are a lot of themes that are going on as well within it. So there's the meat, sort of vegetarian.
Yes.
There's the parenting
Yes.
or children. What's PC? What's right and wrong
Yeah.
to talk about? Like these issues are I don't know what to say more about that. I'll take that as a comment. No, I don't know.
No, it's really funny because some people love some scenes. Some people
Thanks,
go, "Oh,
Lisa.
I wouldn't believe that." Some, there's such reaction to the plays in there. Like,
There's got to touch something on someone
yes,
about,
Yeah,
that
I said to him,
they're-
I said, "Oh, I so get that babysitting scene." My husband said, "But I would have no problem having a man babysit." So it's like this weird thing of some people go, "I totally go on that train."
there was
And
it's
some
like
people-
a separate little story within
Totally.
it's a little
Yeah.
side
Oh,
track.
no, he was
Eddie's-
great. The
yeah.
guy, Paul.
He's kind of the swing actor
Peter
throughout.
Houghton.
He
Houghton.
plays the
Peter
Yeah.
figure.
Houghton plays
He's
all of the.
terrific.
He's a
plays all of
terrific
the
man.
farmer.
Yeah.
the farmer and the
Skipper.
And the cow, I might add.
Ah.
He's got his hand up the cow.
Ah, yes, there is some
He's-
great
He's
cow
doing the cow.
puppetry
He
going
is,
on.
yeah. He's a good
yeah.
mower.
Some great
Yeah.
cow, which we don't want to give
He's
too
a-
much away, but
No.
it is.
He's
The
brilliant.
RSPCA should have been called if that was the case.
Yeah.
Can I ask just?
Yeah.
I'm the odd man out
Yes.
here. Lovely
You didn't
people out
see
there
it.
because I don't know about
dare
it. So I was just
Get
wondering.
out.
I was just wondering.
time yet.
I was just wondering, is this all taking place in the dinner party, like in that moment, in that evening? It's all in that one evening.
It's
It
a,
all takes-
It's a build-up, isn't it?
Yeah, but it all
One
takes
scene?
no. Well, the cow. Yes, it does. It's pretty much all on the one. Like we organise the babysitter. Yes, it all takes place over one
Day.
One day.
and
Yeah.
night, basically. Apart from the sort of flashback to the
Oh, right.
to
So the
what went on
flashbacks is a different scene.
is
but-
to
Yes.
the boat. What
But
happened
still-
on the boat
Yes.
with the guys.
But the second act opens at the dinner party.
right.
And and we're organising so the babysitter and things is all preparing for the dinner party, and,
Oh, right.
and the cow is in the afternoon. It's all a kind of
I
a
see.
concentrated sort of
So,
a
perfect
moment
fit.
in time
Yeah.
where all of the worst. All great theatre is you want it to be the worst day of someone's life, not the fifth worst. It has to be the worst with the most exciting and horrible things happening
Yes.
to this group of people
Yes.
all over a sort of a 10-hour period. This thing explodes in their face, and sort of Eddie's it's sort
Literally
of a very
explodes in
vicious
their
take
face, that's
on
what
sort
I'll
of yeah. So he makes everything happen to these people.
We'll get you Melbourne price tickets in Sydney, all right?
Yeah, come and see it.
We should mention Eddie is apparently a committed vegetarian, isn't he?
Is he?
Is he?
Is he?
That's what I read.
This was sort of based on some kind of story, like
He
that
really
happened
did.
to
He really
him.
did have a sea
Oh,
change, and
something.
they did a similar thing,
Okay.
but not this,
This
obviously
thing-
play. But
No.
No.
that's where the idea came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I did read that
they've
he was a
moved back.
vegetarian.
They've moved.
No.
They-
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, hang on. Let's think.
Except
Let's
for
think.
Thursdays, there's a really good roast at the Opera House,
Opera House.
Cafe Bar.
I don't know,
But apart from
maybe not.
Thursdays,
He might be.
I'm sure he is.
Oh, I see. Right. So that was all just PR.
I don't know.
Someone's probably
Are
said
you
that.
guys
He
vegetarian?
might have been. No, not
It's something they
vegetarian.
know.
I must say that this plays. Do
You
pick the
questioning?
minestrone over the roast, though.
Yeah.
You will. It is.
Yeah,
it is,
it's got that
it is
effect.
con-
It's got that effect on
It
you.
is
Yeah.
confronting.
As
But
you
they get
know.
over it very
Yeah.
quickly.
Mm.
Yes.
They get over the horror quickly.
They do.
Because they are bad people.
And the animal, I must say, ends up on the table very quickly.
very quick. Look, we did.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about butchering.
You would imagine that there would be a bit more bleeding.
I know.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you need it to
Yeah.
cure
I know.
them. Yeah. But I think it's one of those things where
it's theatre. It's the magic
theatre.
of theatre.
It's the
Where
magic of
again we
theatre.
just say,
Magic
look, it
of
has to
theatre.
happen
Yeah.
all right now. Like going,
Yes.
And also in theatre, it's a bit difficult. A week later,
Yeah.
we find them again at the dinner table.
Your montage
Finally,
music
yeah,
comes in.
It's kind of got to be all.
Well, I think if it was a Russian play, there'd be a 4-hour scene in the middle of butchering and bleeding.
Yes,
The
yes,
hanging,
yeah.
staring out at windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In comes the smoker.
And drinking.
Some pauses.
Yeah.
Shall we? A lot of pauses.
A big
Shall
long
we sell the
pause of
cherry
4
orchard?
hours.
I want the eyeball.
Yes, we
No,
shall
I want
sell the
eyeball.
cherry orchard.
Yes.
Now we have sold the
There are
cherry
some
orchard.
hilarious moments in there, especially one of my favourites when because you're hiding your smoking from your wife.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous scene, isn't it? It's my favourite in the play
terrific. I
too.
don't know if we can really actually, describe it, but it is
It is.
great.
It is.
The extent that you will go so that your wife
To
does
hide.
not know.
It's pretty
This
funny,
is a
isn't
story.
it?
This is an Eddie story as well. Should we give?
Oh,
it?
yes.
Yeah, go
No,
on.
that,
One
all
more
of these
to
things,
finish
all,
off.
a lot of these things are Eddie, are from Eddie's life, and I think this is why audiences react to different bits as well. But this is the links one will go to hide the fact my character pretends he doesn't smoke. His wife thinks she knows, but my character's like she doesn't definitively know. If I were to admit that I was a smoker, then she'd win, and she
Yeah.
can't win.
She can never win.
because she can never win because this is my fight. It's the only thing I've got, and I'm never going to admit it. She thinks she knows, and he goes to incredible, stupid, ridiculous lengths in order to conceal the fact that he's actually a smoker.
I'm like that with ice.
You don't let anyone want you're on
Hey.
ice.
No one can prove it.
I just want to see your
Everyone
outfit. I want to see
suspects
your
I'm
outfit,
like
my
that.
friend.
Yeah. For those who
Why
can't
does it?
see this video, for listening at home, there is a lot of track marks.
Yeah,
and
there's
smoke.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
smoke coming out, billowing
Yeah,
out of your
yeah.
nostrils.
You don't really have track marks. with ice,
Oh, I see.
Are
I'm
you?
not a.
No, I don't know.
Oh, you do know a lot about ice.
yeah.
Aha!
But,
It's funny. It's funny
You
that
smoke
I know
ice,
that
don't
much.
you?
No.
You smoke it.
well, we all do. It's a 2SER thing. Yeah.
Oh,
it's funny during that scene though
Thank
because
you. I will have one.
Oh my
Someone's
God,
just
you're
come in
so
to
helpful.
offer us a little bit of ice.
there's lots of nudging because I'm a statue watching because they're sort of statue during different
Yeah.
scenes, and it's funny watching during the smoking machine.
Smoking
Scene.
Smoking machine.
There's so much elbowing between couples going on. Like so I think it's that thing that everyone's got their secrets, everyone's got their vices,
Yeah.
and it's like
I know what it is.
oh yeah,
All right.
there's so many elbow nudging.
And then the unraveling at the end.
Yeah.
One last thing, we're almost out of time, but the backdrop. It looked like to me, kind of Currajong. Yes.
I don't know where
But you
it
wouldn't
is.
know because you're from Melbourne.
I don't know where it is. Do you know where it is?
I thought it looked a bit Hunter Valley.
Hunter
Yeah,
Valley
I
could
think
be
it is Hunter
It's
Valley.
kind of meant to be
Backdrop.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, because there's
That's-
wine
yeah.
tasting.
And that's what
Yeah.
Eddie did
stuff
do
Yeah.
a
going
little.
on.
They
Yeah.
did.
Great.
Yeah, Eddie and Lucy did a little tree change a few years ago, and they
Yeah.
Right.
moved. Not
Eddie and
Hunter.
the
No,
Vines.
they
The
kind of
Melbourne
moved Yarra.
equivalent.
They moved
Yarra
to
Valley.
So
Yeah.
Yarra, I think it's kind of Yarra Valley
Okay.
look. They kind of.
But
went
it
out
is
there.
done well with a curtain, as in the sense of not a theatrical curtain, but like a curtain.
Yeah,
Curtain.
yeah,
Yeah,
sort
it's
of almost.
yeah.
you
It's
know.
with the thing is because we're going to 3 different theatres. We're here. We're going to go back to Melbourne to the Comedy Theatre. Then we're going up to the Lyric
yeah.
Oh,
in
right.
Queensland,
That's
which
what's
is like
so
a
simple, because it has to
2,000
be-
seater.
Transportable.
Yeah.
So it has to be
Yeah, let's do
movable,
that,
and
yeah.
and these sort of very quick scene changes and sort of dream sequences as well, where suddenly the set has to change while you're telling a story. So it has to be and movable. So that gets tricky. So yeah, the curtains were just a great idea to sort of go right. They're here now. Sets a scene. They're at sea.
Yes.
They're at the farm. They're at the
yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
don't see it
nice.
much these days.
No,
no.
no.
They're murdering a cow.
Wow. Thank you.
There is blood and murder now, and
And
it's
laughs
a lot easier
and-
to clean as well.
Yes,
with the amount of
yes.
blood
What are they using?
And a
for
little
the blood?
poo.
and a poo. Yeah, a lot of shit.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah.
Of
when you're
course.
killing the cow.
Something for everyone.
There is something for everybody.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Heidi
been
Arena
great
and
fun.
Toby Truslove. That's The Beast, which is playing at the Drama Theatre at the Opera House at the moment.